An Oregon man is now behind bars accused of sexually assaulting young girls, and Portland police believe there may be more victims. Let's get right out to Fox 12's Abby Davis, who's in Gresham and joins us now live. Abby, what are police saying?
Well, PPB says federal officers arrested the suspect Wednesday after a years-long investigation. They've confirmed 3 alleged victims so far, but say there may be more because of the man's connection to a Northeast Portland church. Along this street in Gresham is where Portland police say the U.S. Marshals Service arrested this man, 61-year-old Daniel Eagleston, Wednesday. Eagleston, who is from Boring, is accused of sexually assaulting 3 young girls. He faces 14 counts related to the abuse. In a news release Thursday, PPB says they became aware of the alleged abuse in July 2021. Detectives interviewed a woman who reported Eagleston sexually abused her numerous times between the ages of 3 and 12. While investigating, police say they identified 2 more young girls who had been assaulted by Eagleston. In a statement, Chief Bob Day thanked the survivors for coming forward, saying these cases are incredibly difficult, and I hope the arrest represents an important step toward accountability for the suspect and healing for the victims. A PPB spokesperson says Eagleston volunteered with a child care program at Manna House Church in Northeast Portland for at least a decade. The 3 girls involved are not from the church, but police say it's a place where he may have had access to or met other victims. The Police Bureau is encouraging anyone who believes they are a victim or has information about this case to email its tip line. The executive pastor of Manna House says their hearts are with the victims and their families and that they are fully cooperating with police. Reporting live in Gresham, Abby Davis, Fox 12 Oregon.